Okay, I'll put this in here.
Yeah.
Okay. So we took,
Hi.
hey guys, welcome back. Camera died, unfortunately, on us. Um, Micah came in clutch with his phone. So, um, yeah, I'll give you a second to put things away.
Yeah, I feel like um what was I saying? I don't know. I feel like um it's harder maybe as men to admit that okay, if we have goals, then it's beneficial to have other people to support that. So I feel like yeah, I feel like for us, especially me, initially it was hard to like kind of ask for support, which is kind of ironic now that like that's kind of all I do with the podcast. So I guess men's health kind of made me ask for support. It's-
Yeah, maybe it made you realize that, we all actually need it
yeah.
time and time again. Um, yeah, and I think a lot of young men out there are very ambitious, but
Mhm.
maybe don't have the means or feel overwhelmed by their ambition.
Yeah.
And coming together and bringing some friends with you or having some friends come together to keep you accountable, um, to keep you supported, and obviously vice versa is really great to help manage that, I think.
I think too is there's like a fear factor of just getting outside of your comfort zone. So you're kind of I feel like for me, like I'm kind of like afraid to be too ambitious and too hopeful sometimes because I feel like, well, my dream is too big or it's too like doesn't make sense. So sometimes I'm like afraid to like really execute like my goals and stuff. And I feel like that's where like that's where like other people come in. It's they kind of like they challenge you and they'll say like, hey, I feel like you can do this or I feel like this could grow. And it kind of it makes you see that like your dreams aren't they can actually be real. So
Yeah. Um, I think there's a part of it about planning. Do you ever have a problem like getting stuck in a cycle of planning and
like
procrastinating
do you mean like just like
instead of
in
doing?
general or just like for big goals?
I think in general,
In
but
general?
also for big goals. Like
Do I have a problem with planning? No, I don't think anyone's ever asked me that. Not
I'll
a
give
bit.
I'll give you an example maybe to clarify.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's bees. I I guess I spent a lot of time at school creating a blueprint for my life, or
Yeah.
a plan for my life because my goals are really grandiose, I would say. Um, and the process for me is how can I best align my days
Mhm.
or my individual day and my week to orient my life towards that goal.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and and my goals are lofty, so I had to think a while about what was important. What do I have
Yeah.
to let go of? But I spent so much time just planning my individual days, planning out my goals, my projects,
So that they match up
worrying,
with your
yeah, so that I felt aligned, so that I felt, at peace with where I was going. And that was actually a huge struggle of mine is
Mhm.
feeling at peace with how I spend my time,
Yeah.
even recently. So what do you think?
So I feel like with like planning, I feel like you said, the whole idea with planning is making sure your life aligns with what you want to do. And I feel like if maybe your lifestyle doesn't match your goals or dreams, then I feel like that's when like okay, something has to change. Because if you like if you want to, I don't know, be a therapist or whatever, then I feel like that involves like a level of self-awareness and a level of going to therapy yourself. So I feel like sometimes there has to be like some sort of lifestyle change involved in a way so that you can live aligned with your dreams and aspiration. And yeah, changing your lifestyle is hard. It's hard to it's hard, even though like sometimes it's healthy. Like for me, I guess like a smaller thing is um like I guess with the podcast, I had to realize that I had to like my lifestyle had to change a little bit. Like I couldn't just always be alone. I had to involve other people so that it could grow. I had to learn how to reach out and network with people and just ask people for help, ask people if they wanted to join. So it's just it took a lot of change and it took a while, but I feel like I feel like it was a I feel like if I want to align be aligned, then it did have to take like I had to change a lot of my lifestyle. I don't know if that answered the question.
Yeah, that does answer my question, I think. What so you went over the kind of things that you had to change
Yeah.
to, would you say, feel, like, productive in terms of men's couch? Um,
Yeah. So I would say like no one thing I had to change, I had to like be sometimes like more assertive with planning
okay.
like when we meet
Yeah,
because getting like 10 people to meet can be difficult. So I had to be
yeah,
like I had to be like, hey, like let us know if you're coming. Men's out 6 p.m. Like I had to learn how to be more like direct and assertive and that's not natural to me. I'm very like, if you want to come, just come. But no, I had to be like, no, if I want this, I'm gonna have to communicate my want to the group. And people have helped me with that. Like Alex and Angie have helped me be more like assertive and direct. And I think that's something that I've always struggled with, but I think it's something that like I had to change. Um, so like to plan things like to plan meetups and to plan
yeah, yeah, the band is playing in the background.
that's so funny.
Yep,
To plan meetups, to plan just
they'll play until 9 p.m.
to plan stuff for men's college and like that takes a lot of just like logistics. I don't care about logistics, but I had to learn how to care about logistics.
Yeah, you had to sacrifice.
Yeah, I had
Yeah,
to like learn how to like even though like my personality is just chill and laid back, I had to learn how to be more logistical and that like other people have helped me with that. And it's not like it's not a bad thing to like kind of like if your personality leans one way, but if you try to like if you have to change something um to reach your goal, it's not doesn't mean you're changing your personality. It just means like you're kind of bettering yourself in the process so that you can actually reach your goal.
yeah. I think there's something to be said about sacrificing, or the
Yeah.
the necessity of sacrifice to make progress.
Oh yeah.
You have thoughts?
Yeah.
I think it's very important.
There's a lot of just I feel like there's a lot of sacrifice that like came into men's couch and not even just men's couch, just like in life in general. Like having to sacrifice. For me, sacrifice is more of like this is my time and sacrifice my time, giving it to people. That was one of like it's been like a thing this summer is I want to be there more for people and my friends and family. Because I'm just like just naturally introverted and sometimes like my world can just focus on me too much sometimes. But I want to find that balance where I could sacrifice my time for people because that's what we're here for. We're here for people. We're here to to work together. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think honestly, you really made me think about something, and that's
Oh,
on my whole
are we
journey,
cooking? I was kidding.
maybe a little bit, maybe cooking a little bit. On my whole journey, um, I've I found myself very detached from
Mhm.
a lot of things, and it
I think we
always
talked about that, like I think we talked about that when was that? When we went to, like, the library?
yeah. I think we
Okay.
talked about detachment a
Yeah.
little bit.
I like,
Um,
I didn't realize no, go ahead. I just had a thought.
well, yeah, if we can find it, we'll put it down in the description,
Yeah.
okay, so
It's
people can watch it. Because that was an interesting one, I remember. Um, but it wasn't that I had to, like, detach from friends or detach from, um, going to the gym or something that I enjoy. Um, what I really had to do was detach from outcomes in life as a whole.
yes, 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 yeah, yeah.
And when when you get good enough at detachment, you kind of start to develop, I think, a subconscious control of
Mhm.
your attachments in the world. And
Yeah, I'm, like I wasn't buying um, I'm so attached to outcomes that, like, it's like, it's a lot. Like, I'll just even just I feel like sometimes, like, I'll live my life for an outcome instead of just allowing things to be, and 'cause, sometimes I struggle with control and, like, fear of letting go, so just, like, attachment is, like, a huge thing for me.
yeah, um, yeah, it's really important, I think, just living life that you don't become attached to outcomes. And I say that because I think a lot of the outcomes we have in our head are predisposed ideas. They come from society around us.
Yeah, like how we think things should be,
Yeah, or who we think we should be,
but then,
or what
like
we think we should do.
when life doesn't align to, like, when my life doesn't look like that, then I feel bad.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, for a huge thing that I talked to, like, Alex last night is I love being single, and I feel like society tells you, like, you have to find a partner, but I love being single, that's just, like, how I am, and, like, even, like, my family, my parents have been like, "When are you getting a girlfriend?" or whatever, "When do you wanna" oh, that's just, like that's not my life, so I had to accept that, like, my life doesn't look like someone else's, and I don't know if I don't
detach.
yeah, I had to detach from that societal standard so that I could be at peace with my own life.
Yeah, I think that speaks volumes to a lot of people, probably, because there's so much pressure to follow through with the set path, get married young, or you know, um, just get married in your 20s and buy a house and settle
Wait a
down
second,
and
I'm just, like,
just
getting
do the thing and
I don't even
um
know what I want to do tomorrow. How am I
yeah,
gonna know what I wanna do, like,
yeah.
for the next 10 years?
And then there's another side of it too, I think, is if you have very high, lofty aspirations, you're gonna learn to enjoy your loneliness. You're gonna learn to sit through it.
Yeah,
And you're gonna really like being with yourself because it's, important. I want to go back to detachment in a minute here. Because I actually the point I didn't get to make my point that I think would resonate with you. Um, but yeah, don't be afraid to do what Micah does and be okay being single.
yeah.
And if someone
I
comes
love
along,
it. I'm just
yeah,
saying I love it.
if someone comes along and changes your mind, if they unhelpably change the course of your life, then it's meant to be.
Yeah,
And that's all you need to worry about. You don't need to
yeah,
worry about, finding someone. Um, that's what I learned. Just don't ever be afraid to go meet people and talk to
yeah,
all sorts of people. I think that's really where it comes from. And
yeah,
if you yeah,
oh, sorry. I feel like I don't know, I feel like it's just been just ingrained from the culture that you have to be married or you have to have a girlfriend, but that's just not me. I'm very like I can't imagine myself in a relationship because I'm very just like I guess I'm like very independent and just don't want that. And so it's a conscious choice. So it's not like for some people, I feel like for some people that are single, like they want to be in I feel like there's two types of singles. There's like people that are happy single, then there's like people that like want to look for someone.
Yeah.
I'm like the happy single, like I just absolutely love it and wouldn't want to date or be married. So, but that's just not like people that are happy single, like I feel like no one like that's not talked about. So the assumption is that if you're single, then you're just not happy. But I don't know. Kind
Yeah,
of like a side tangent.
I think it's more healthy, you know,
Yeah.
um, for you to make that choice because you know that it's best for you.
Yeah, and you know what you want.
Yeah. Um, we'll have to do another episode on dating, I think. I think we will.
That'll be with Alex. 'Cause I don't date.
Okay.
I can talk. I'm thinking of doing a video on being single because no one
Okay.
talks about that. So yeah.
That's a good idea. You should. Um,
Um, but yeah, there's a lot of like things to detach from, just like outcomes or just like standards that people put on you. You have to detach from that because not everyone's gonna agree with the way that you live your life. Not everyone is gonna support you, but we would like when you find people that do. So
Micah, could I ask you a question?
yeah.
To shift topics just a little bit. So you talked about how when your life doesn't really align with what you want it to, you
Hmm.
start to feel sad.
Hmm.
Would you say that maybe in those times you start to feel dysregulated, not like your
Hmm.
normal self?
I would say like I would be disappointed, but like I always tell myself that if my life doesn't look the way that I envision it in my mind, then it's a good thing because um it makes it more realistic. It makes it more like just realistic. And I was talking to like my friend on purpose, and he had like a set goal of what he wanted to do, but then like I felt like did a whole 360 and just completely changed. And she was very like he was struggling like mentally because of that. But I feel like yeah, I feel like like our mental health does struggle when our like what we envision our life to be doesn't match up to what it is. And that creates disappointment. But I think it's an opportunity to create something new out of your life.
Yeah.
Just because it doesn't look the way like the exact way you planned it. It doesn't mean that it's not meaningful. And I feel like there's so much that can happen when life does a 360. It it might like feel terrible,
Yeah.
but I feel like there's so much like so much can happen. It's just like we have to see it. We have to see that um we have to see that our that things can happen, that we have to see that there's meaning in places that we don't think that there's meaning. And um yeah, I don't know if that answered your question. It kind of went on a tangent.
It does. And I actually want to
Um,
build on it a little bit. Um,
like with creating.
yeah. Yeah. I think meaning comes from the self, definitely.
Yeah.
Um, if you can create your own meaning, you're unstoppable, truthfully. But to get a little philosophical, um, I think in life, it is so true. We need one of two things at any given moment. We either need more surrender or more burning desire. Okay.
I definitely need more surrender now.
And I say that because I think when life gets us down, we need to see the meaning in everything again. The meaning
Yeah,
that's all around
I
us.
definitely need more surrender. Just to surrender, like, um, so surrender, like, like my idea of what things should be. Because like when I had that pressure of, okay, this should be this way, that should be this way, and if it doesn't like line up, then I'm just like kind of going crazy, and I just need to like surrender my life because like if I don't, then I'm going to like try to control everything, and it's just not going to work out.
Yeah, and then you have like an attachment to an outcome when you're trying to control everything, and um, that bunny has been venting us out.
The bunny is tuning in.
Yeah, and I think it's like what we've lost in our society in such a broad way, here in the West at least. I don't know about other places.
Hmm.
Um, is people are kind of disassociated from the meaning.
Of life.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
the true essence of living.
Yeah. Just
You
like
know,
now, okay, just now, we're just sitting and talking, and it's just like a peaceful moment,
so peaceful.
and it's just like there's meaning in this. But I feel like I feel like you said, we kind of lost that sometimes because we're just so focused on like everything. Okay, so today I have to do this. I have to go here. I have to run there. And
Yeah,
like this past week, that was me. Like I was just like, okay, today I have to do this. I have to go. I have to go over here. I have to like, but like I didn't I wasn't just sitting down and just chilling in nature.
yeah,
Like I wasn't doing that, and so like when we like are so focused on like autopilot, then we lose like the meaning of life and just being here. And then I feel like that's when we get depressed.
I agree completely. Um, I think it's easy to fall into nihilism or meaninglessness, and when you're there, it's very hard to see your way out of it because meaning is the answer. Um, and maybe that does bring us back to meaning. If it comes from the self, it makes you unstoppable. But
I feel like too like not wait we went over this we went over this like a couple months ago. Like nihilism is when like what is it again?
nihilism is just meaninglessness when I guess you're just floating through a sea of chaos in the world.
Oh, you mean like you're just going through life, but like not really in life?
I guess.
Uh,
I think it's just you're disillusioned with life.
oh,
You're so like you don't have a grasp on, being human. You're so attached to the world around you and to outcomes. And
I see.
you're so far away from anything meaningful or yeah, you're so far away from anything meaningful that you get stuck. You get stuck in a pit, like a
Mhm.
void. And that's
Mm.
nihilism. Nietzsche warned the world about this.
So is it like kind of like living in autopilot then?
Yeah, very much so. Like a passive autopilot.
Yeah, I can't be passive.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what made me like depressed years ago is living in like autopilot and just being passive about certain things and not like actually like I feel like when we're in survival mode, when we're just surviving, then I feel like that's when we um we become disillusioned and like disassociated from the beauty that is life. And then that might be where like unhappiness and like lack of purpose might come in.
Yeah. Like there's infinite complexity in the world around you
Yeah.
right now. Like there's infinite complexity in these rocks in front of us. And if that doesn't rattle your brain and make you want to get up and do something amazing with your life, I don't know what will. It's
Yeah.
like, um,
For me, it's nature. I'm a huge nature person.
okay.
I love nature. I love hiking and just being in nature. And that kind of like, because like one of the reasons I hike is that it's symbolic for me of just like life is a journey. And there's so many things in life, like so many hills to climb, um, so many unexpected things. Like I was hiking with my friend Nathan and we saw like a toad. And that was just unexpected. So just like a little stuff like that is just symbolic of the fact that life um is unexpected. Life has many peaks and valleys. And yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah,
Yeah, life is ups and downs. Oh, sorry, life is ups and downs.
yeah,
Um, I think, man, you might think I'm insane. You might think I'm insane. I think that
bit crazy.
I love I love the Tao, the yin and the yang.
Yeah. I actually have a yin and yang rug
Really.
in the apartment.
And I think that life is a collection of the yin and the yang in balance. It is
Mhm.
the ups and downs.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely balanced.
and it's the masculine and feminine, and they're perfect complements. They're meant to be lived in balance. Um, Society tells us men that we should disregard the feminine, right? Um,
Yeah,
but it's actually how we become powerful as men.
yeah.
It really is. Um, and so I think that with that, that's also the surrender and burning desire is the yin and the yang.
Mhm.
Um, but I look at my life and I see those patterns of ups and downs,
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
Um, and it truly is, the bottomless pit at the bottom and the most joyous experience of life at the top and all the, phases in between. Um, and I would say that after,
You get lost on a hike sometimes.
yeah, you do. You really do
You
get
get
lost on a
lost.
hike.
That's why in the same thing with like with life, like sometimes you just feel lost.
You get stuck halfway up the mountain. Um, Unfortunately, we live in a day and age where no one's gonna come to rescue you, which is why Men's Couch is great. So important.
Yeah.
Um, but I guess I look back on the last few years of my life, which these last few years specifically have been very profound, definitive years of my life.
Mhm.
Um, and very recently, I look at all the collection of ups and downs, and I see the beauty in it.
That's that's like the thing that like we strive to do is to see the beauty in both the ups and downs and just accept that like, yeah, this is part of my life. This is what happened. It doesn't look pretty, but it doesn't mean like it doesn't mean everything is bad about it. It's just part of my life and my story and something that I believe that God uses to orchestrate our life. That there's like there's sometimes it's gray, sometimes it's pitch black, sometimes it's like so bright and you're on top of the world. But I feel like either way, all of it can be beautiful because it's part of what makes me me. And yeah,
Yeah, I agree. Without all those experiences, you wouldn't have the depth that you do.
also it's hard. It's like our natural tendency isn't to see the beauty in the dark place.
That's true. So true. Yeah, that's so true. Um, I got a question for you. Uh, It actually, I think, just based on that. So you said it's really hard to see the beauty in the dark places.
Yeah.
Do you think that's because here in the West we have kind of a lack of resources, or perhaps our society is flawed in the sense that it doesn't provide young men and women with the ideology that they need to see the beauty in the darkness?
Yes. Because I feel like do you mean, like, as far as, like, equipping young men?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a huge lack of equipping with the young men. I'm just gonna say it out loud, like, I feel like there's just a huge lack of equipping with just equipping young men to be who they can be and be the best that they can be and, like, executing their goals and stuff. I feel like it's a huge lack of equipping. Um, I don't know if it's because, like, our culture is, like, all about money. I don't know, like, what it is,
Rockefeller.
but maybe, like, equipping young men and women yeah, equipping people isn't, like, our main priority because I don't know, like, what is America's priority? I don't know, but, like, I don't think it's I don't think that's a priority.
Yeah, definitely not. I think our priority is in idolizing sports stars and Hollywood actors, um,
Yeah.
and business gurus, and even academic excellence is idolized,
Oh
and
my
and it's
goodness.
important. I think it's very important to study the world around you.
That's why people have a lot of anxiety because they're like, "Oh, I don't like, I'm not, like,
The smartest person
yeah, the
in
smartest
the world.
person."
Yeah,
Like, that's not how oh, we got it so messed up.
yeah.
Like, what's meaningful?
I really
Maybe that's why we're so, like, depressed and stuff.
it is this. Yeah, meaning is tainted in the West. In my opinion, it's presented to you in a form that you can consume,
Yeah,
but it does nothing for you. It lacks the juice. Um,
yeah,
I think our academic system is deeply flawed. I think masculinity is deeply affected by it. I think the church is deeply affected by it too.
yeah.
And
We need an episode on the church.
yeah, we
I
do,
have a lot to say about that.
we do. Um, you should read some Nietzsche.
I don't know what that is.
Nietzsche was a philosopher.
Oh, wait, I think I
Um,
do, never mind.
you should read some Nietzsche.
Yeah.
He talks a lot about, I guess, what we're talking about called Western disenchantment.
Yeah,
Um,
'cause that affects, like, that affects young men and, like, how we are and feeling, like even when it comes down to, like, feeling like you can't talk about your life and stuff, I feel like it trickles down from, um, our priority is to look the best, and if that's, like, the priority from the culture, then you feel like you can't, like, actually talk about, like, what's really going on in your life.
yeah. Appearances are idolized. I think like look at influencer culture. Appearances are so idolized, and you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Countless stories now on
Yeah.
influencers that they presented their lives like let's talk about Togi. All right, he's a fitness influencer. All right, um,
Mhm.
I think 23 he had it all, multimillionaire, but he's addicted to so many substances. Um, he lost his fortune, and no one knew it until it was too late.
Mm,
Um, Appearances were he was trying to keep appearances up,
yeah,
and that actually led to his downfall.
and then, like, you see, like, okay, like, um, I had like or you like, if you go with, like, "Okay, appearance is everything," I have to, like, you know, focus on that, but, like, then you have this, like, mask, and you're not, like, able to actually be real with anyone because just so focused on looking a certain way and looking competent and looking, like, achieved that you can't, like, enjoy life because life isn't about just achieving or arriving. It's about walking. It's about being on a journey. So, like, I feel like for men, it's hard because I feel like we have this pressure on ourselves to, like, look achieved and look established, but we had, like, we talked yesterday, like, we both don't know what we're doing, and that's just life, and it like
Yeah,
and if you, if you're focused on appearances, then it's gonna be hard to admit that.
I feel everything you said so deeply because um, I felt like at a time I had it all. And when I started to see that slip away, I experienced it up.
Yeah.
We got someone to step in up the road there. Um, when I felt like I had it all, I started to see it slip away. And when that happened, I didn't surrender into it. I tried to keep appearances up, and it really did. It it really did its due on me. It took its toll.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and yeah, I guess that I've probably spent the past few months really trying to get rid of that
yeah.
idea that I should just be. Um, and I had a quote, and it was that as men, there is no perceived point of arrival, and I say that
Wait,
because
do you have your phone?
why?
Because now I wanna make a post on that.
Oh, I will. I have a video of it I can send to you.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, as men, once we reach any perceived point of arrival, we then start living our lives, realizing slowly that we haven't arrived.
Yeah.
It was something along those lines, and um, it's kind of like that slow burn that comes after spending time in indifference for so long. Um, I experienced this after, living a very passive life for a long time. I had a slow burn afterward. I'm actually really only starting to feel that slow burn
Is it
now.
like a what do you mean by slow burn? Like, slow burn of, like
Well, I'll put it this way. So I spent about 19 years of my life, my first 19 years of life, um, living very passively after I was exposed to certain kinds of external influence in the world.
Mm,
So probably when I started getting into online gaming, my life really changed. I started to adopt a different perception of reality itself, honestly, if that makes sense. And um, I got sucked into the online world and I put all my meaning in it. All the juice
yeah.
that I had in me for life, I put into something that wasn't real, that didn't have substance. And coming out of that, I experienced a very rapid awakening, a very rapid shift
Mm.
in which I guess I did what Young would call a soul sacrificing move.
Carl Jung?
Yeah.
I love Carl Jung.
Um, I jumped from one protective structure to another. And luckily I
See,
didn't.
but, like, I feel like we
Yeah.
do that because I feel like sometimes that gives us, like, a sense of security maybe,
Yeah.
like, having that, like, going from one
It's
to
necessary. It's
to another.
necessary
Yeah.
because, if you have two options really, and I'm going to quote Peterson here, you can be in a protective structure and realize, oh, this protective structure is flawed. And
Yeah.
two things could happen. You could either jump into another one, or you could lose your trust in protective structures and boom, you fall into nihilism. That's exactly how it is. You're in chaos because you have
Yeah.
nothing to guide you. And I think in these protective structures, number one, which it should be just your lifestyle, should be oriented on living through God. Number
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Like,
And
we both believe that. Yeah.
and so like that's what leads my decisions. I feel very led to the place I am today by God.
Yeah.
Just by listening to him. Um
Being attuned to him is just, like, helps to guide your decisions, and, today I was struggling with something today, and I was like, I'm going to fall on my knees and pray about it, and, like, I can just, like, just thoughts were coming in my head of just, like, let me step like, of God saying, "Let me step in." And so I said, "Okay, I'm gonna surrender." Like, that's a huge problem in my life is surrender, like surrendering like outcomes, surrendering like situations. It's just it's difficult, but it's something that I'm growing into.
Have you tried meditation?
I don't see like I don't know if like for me meditating is just like sitting in nature.
Okay.
I don't like I won't like I don't turn on something like on YouTube like a meditation thing and just like sit there because that I get distracted easily. So meditating for me is like being out in nature or just like chilling in nature or reading in nature. That's like very meditating.
Um, I
Well,
found
outside
that
is too. Sorry.
no, I like what you're saying because I meditate by walking, enjoying the sounds of the trees and the birds and the sun and just the world and the earth. Um, but I found it so helpful to dedicate just 10 minutes a day to having no stimulation, just focusing on God,
Yeah.
focusing on that piece. And it's like a very narrow thing in your mind that you have to focus on almost.
Yeah.
Um, but the more you practice it and get better at it, the easier it is to connect with
It's
God.
all about like see like it's all about like the lifestyle thing of like trying like sometimes you have to do that to make sure that you're not going insane is you have to into like and to be connected to life you have to like make those sacrifices of not going to like for me like years ago it was just like I'm done with TikTok. I'm done with TikTok. That's like it was like 2020 or whatever. Cause I was like, this is making me depressed. So like I have to like be done with it. And like for other people, it's just like it's just different things. It's it could be weed, it could be TikTok. I don't know.
It could be anything.
It could be
Yeah.
anything.
I mean, it could be porn. It could be, um, consuming content. It could be chasing women. It could be
Yeah.
anything, truthfully. Or just holding like attachment to your lesser self, I'll say.
Yeah.
Yourself that is very inward, afraid to conquer the world. Um,
That's just like a good like episode idea now.
what?
Like that your lesser self.
Yeah, it's really important,
Yeah.
I think. Um, and that's what is so important, I think, when we talk about connecting to God is, you know, God's ideal for you is your higher self.
Hmm.
And when you connect with that, you can really formulate an ideal version of you
Yeah.
through God's eyes.
And be aligned with like who you really are, your
Exactly.
identity. It's like a problem with like our like Gen Z is like finding a sense of identity and like purpose. So I feel like once you're like aligned with that, then you can feel more comfortable and secure. Um, yeah,
I wrote I wrote in a piece of my book that true meaning is only available to us in great surrender.
yeah.
And I feel like that really
Hey
is
Ben with the quotes.
yeah, I feel like it really is a great way to like summarize um the answer to nihilism um or meaninglessness, which you know I would say that men's couch itself stands against the nihilism. It stands
It
against
does.
men being lost. And
That
that
we're
was
doing
your
something
vision.
good.
Yes, and that was your vision and it's great. Um I don't know where I was going with that.
No, I see because like
Yeah,
it goes against like men's house forces you to like be connected to other men, and if you're like in an isolation bubble, then I feel like that lose more room for like being on autopilot, nihilism, and also just not like because we in the stuff that we talk about, it's like stuff that goes against nihilism. It's
so true. Yeah.
about like life. So like we kind of like yeah, welcome to men's house. We talk about life. So you have to over time you learn to get out of that autopilot bubble that so many of us are in.
So true. I think that in isolation it's easy to throw away our vulnerability
Yeah.
and that sensitivity to life. Like, it's
Yeah.
really easy to justify being held by an ideal or a desire or something that's actually causing us to suffer. It's
Yeah.
so easy to sit there in that place and justify it
Yeah.
because we're alone.
Yeah. And
And
it's easy to like be there, especially after a huge disappointment. It's easy to just like be there and just like let that define like let that let nihilism define your life and just
exactly. Yeah.
I feel like that oh my gosh, I feel like that's sometimes like why men don't want to live sometimes. Sorry if I sound dark, but I feel like sometimes like that's why men kind of get to a place where they don't want to live because of like that like downward spiral.
Most definitely. Life can easily feel like it's falling apart at your fingertips
Yeah.
when really it's not. Um, I would say that I was on my journey for about 2 years and I made really good progress on who I am and my creative pursuits, like what I know.
This man, like, oh my gosh.
But then, one thing changed. And my life wasn't in a good place, but who I was didn't change. And I didn't recognize that, the most valuable piece of what I had been working towards and building was still there. It wasn't lost. And and I think that's so important to remember.
Yeah. Like,
Is you are the project of your own life.
mhm,
And when you feel
like everything is going
like everything is going down, well, maybe it's your underdog story, or maybe it's actually not as bad as you think, you
yeah.
know?
I feel like when we become attached to like everything like externally, then that's when we tend to lose ourselves. We don't realize that a lot is not lost to life, but it a lot can be changed. I have to check
Okay, I was
the
gonna say,
internal.
um, I think if is it good?
No, it didn't turn off. Oh my gosh, this is good. This is good.
Nice, dude. That's over an hour. Definitely. I try to get it as close as possible. What I'll do is I'll take the footage from the first one and the
Mhm.
second one and I'll just sync them. I'll try and like line them up so they look like nothing can swap.
Yeah.
Um,
But what time is it?
at 7:24. You need to go.
Do you want to like?
You want to wrap up real quick?
I
Yeah,
want to wrap up.
let's do it.
Yeah. I feel like no, we gotta do like like
We
another.
have so much to talk about.
There's so much.
Uh,
Like
I don't know if this will resonate with you. I want to ask you really quick.
yeah.
So you feel God is like a force in the world, and you can attune yourself to.
Yes.
Okay, all religions are trying to describe it. Buddhist enlightenment is walking with Christ. Same thing. There, throughout history, religions have tried to articulate this energy that exists in the world,
Because
and they've gotten it different.
I feel like
That's part of what my book's about. Is like
yeah.
all these people were feeling the same thing.
Yeah, and I also feel like you know what's interesting is that like in every like ancient common thing in ancient society is a great flood. So I feel like that is like to me that like that alone is proof that God is God says who he is.
Yeah, yeah. I completely agree. In Genesis, like undeniably, someone couldn't have come up with that.
Yeah.
It so accurately describes like it gives narrative to reality. It
And
really does. It gives structure, like architecture to the world.
I think we have to I think like if you struggle to believe, I think that's what, like we have to really, really think about. This needs to be another like we're talking about
Well,
everything.
that's what Nietzsche foresaw. Is he said that God is dead and we've killed him. And what he meant is that the underslash of society, like this burning desire for God, is gone.
Hmm,
And it's true. And we would fall. He predicted that we would fall into nihilism. 200 years ago, he said this.
interesting.
And I feel like it's true. Like we think of God in the church and we think of this guy with a gray beard in the sky, right? And it's kind of lost its depth. It's lost its true, the sauce that gets
I
you
have so
invested.
much to say about that.
Yeah.
I have like I feel like, with and Christianity is like what I call performance Christianity,
Yes. Yes.
where
So
like our
true.
relationship with God is, did you read your, oh, sorry. Our
Okay.
relationship with God is like, did you read your Bible?
Yeah.
Like that, like that's not, I have so much to say about that, but we gotta wrap up.
Yeah. You
I feel
called it what, like performative Christianity?
performance based Christianity.
Okay. Yeah. Next episode is gonna be on religion. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Um, but yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. We're gonna wrap up here. Micah, it's been a pleasure. Did we come up with a name for the podcast in the episode? I don't know.
I'm gonna say like chill talk. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be
Dawn. Wait. Is it dusk?
it's dusk.
Yeah, desktop. Dusk talk. I don't know. I don't know what to name it. It'll be
Philosophy at golden hour. I don't know.
yeah, fluffy a golden hour. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're gonna call it that. So yeah, guys, thank you. This has been episode 1. Thank you, Micah.
This is just like we gotta hug it out.
Yeah, dude. Sit over here.
This is this awesome big thing.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. See you guys in the next one. Peace. All right.
That was really
I think it's kind of crazy how people like us can come together and like look at our journeys throughout life and see that we're starting